Hello, welcome to Yoga for Osteoporosis. And today we're going to be moving through, make the body feel really good. No flexion, obviously, that's not good for osteoporosis. There will be times when we will do planks today. If you have osteoporosis in your wrist and a traditional plank is not for your body, then I would like for you to come to your forearms for that portion. We won't be doing a whole lot of that, but just in case that's something that your body needs. Otherwise, we're going to focus primarily on the back. So we're going to use the strap today. We're going to start with that. So just go ahead, just kind of place it just around your neck so you've got that. And blocks can be very helpful if you're not able to easily touch the floor, even when you bend your knees. So that can be helpful. A folded blanket can be helpful if you need to sit on something when we come to the seated portion, and as well as knee cushion as well. So from here, coming to a nice tall standing position. Good. Hips, knees, and toes are tracking in this alignment. Good. And I'm just going to take a big inhale and reach up. Maybe look up there at those hands, turning palms away, grow taller from head to tail as I come down. Let's take that again. Big inhale and reach, reach, reach. Good. And then from here, I'm just going to bring the hands down. I will apologize in advance. I'm having a allergy day, so my voice is fading in and out. So do apologize. So as we're here and we set our intention for our practice, what would you like to give or receive from this practice? You can always dedicate it to yourself, someone, or something. And once you have that set, we'll inhale and reach. Let's get a nice side bend here, kind of coming over to the left. So watch this shoulder. Sometimes it likes to come forward here. We don't want to take it into rotation. We want to keep it nice and even, trying to keep it in line with the hip as much as possible. And we'll breathe and expand through that ribcage. Good. Pressing through that right side. Let's take that right into that right side. Good. And reach. Again, watch the shoulder. Breathing and expanding. And then pressing through the left side to come back up. Good. From here, I'm just going to take my strap. Good. I'm going to thread it between my pointer and my thumb, and I'm just going to turn sideways so you can better see form and what I'm doing. But from here, I'm going to take a nice taut grip, and we're just going to open the shoulders a little bit. So I'm going to come back just a little bit and come back forward and take it back a little bit. I'm trying not to pop the chest forward. Good. And we'll do that again. Maybe you can go back a little bit more. So the trick here is you want to keep your arms long as you come back. So if you need a bigger grip, wider grip to make that happen, take it. Try not to bend the elbows. Good. And one more time. Good. Just taking that back. Finding a nice sweet spot. And taking that back up. Good. I'm going to put this to the side. We'll come back to that later. And then from here, good. I'm just going to have my hands in my waist, and we're going to go into some rotations. My belly button is in nice and tight to the spine. On this first one, hips are going to move with you. So let your knees bend as needed when you do that. Good. And we're just rotating side to side. Go at your pace. Good. Now, if you can, keep the hips straight forward. So try not to move them. Move only from the torso as you go side to side. So this one, I do better if I don't have my hands on my waist. So as you move here, take a gentle movement. We don't want anything to be really jerky. So for example, like that would be a jerky motion. We don't want that. Good. Now from here, big inhale and reach. Exhale, bend the knees and come down. Flat spine, press through the hips and the glutes. And taking that down, press through the hips and the glutes. I should have said through the heels and the glutes. You're already doing that with the hips. Good. Press through the feet, engage the glutes, strong legs, strong back, strong bones. Good. And when you're ready, good, we'll come all the way up. One more time. Let's get a nice little side bend to the left. And then we'll come up. Let's take that to the right. And coming back. Good. So for a moment, I'm just going to place my hands on my heart. We're just going to do a little breathing exercise, and then we're going to come into some of our yoga movement. You can close your eyes if you've got a balance issue. Maybe have the eyes open, but gaze cast down. Knees are a little soft here. Relax the shoulders. And as you inhale, can you find some expansion in that ribcage? And slowly exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Let's do a little counted pranayama here, box breathing, equal part. So we're going to inhale, hold, exhale, and hold for an equal number of breath. I'm going to do 4. If that's not your magic number today, you go where you can go. So big exhale to prepare. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release. 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release the hands from the heart. Roll it out. We'll come to the top of the mat. So blocks can be helpful here. Even when you bend the knees, if you can't touch the floor or touch it well, I'm going to recommend for today that our feet and legs stay hip width apart as we move. So going back to that in a little knee bend, big inhale and reach, exhale, bend the knees, maybe touching the floor or your block. Pressing through the hips and the heels, we'll come all the way up. Good. Inhale, exhale, and bend. Pressing through the hips and the heels, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, reconnect with intention. Yeah, now let's take this up. Inhale, exhale, bending the knees as you come down, always here. Good. And then I'm just going to lengthen the legs. I'm keeping a long spine. And then you can bend the knees. Just find a little bit of length in the backside. It's a little stretch back there. Good. Spine stays long and flat. Belly button is in. Good. And then from here, good. Maybe this next time when we bend our knees, we can sink just a little bit more. Head and neck can be free. You can shake the head yes. You can shake it no. Good. Let's inhale and lift. Nice long spine. Exhale, bend those knees. Press through the heels and the glutes. Long back as we rise. all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Inhale and let's lift. Exhale, I'm going to bend the knees as I come down. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Take a nice long spine. Exhale, bend the knees and come down. Now from here, good. I'm just going to kind of come to my hands. I'm going to come to my knees. And then from here, I'm going to make myself come back into, make my way, come back into a plank. So different things for different people. If you've got the osteoporosis in the wrist, remember you can always come to block through to the floor and find a nice knee lifted or knee down forearm plank. Okay. If your wrists aren't your problem, then you can come to a high plank here, knees down like this, or lift it. Find yours. Belly button is in nice and tight, no matter which version you're doing. Push that floor away from you. Good. And then from here, drop the knees if they're not already. Good. And then make your way onto your belly. Move these a little forward here. Good. And we're going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So I'm going to take my elbows a little forward here. We're just going to come into some gentle back bend. Legs are hip width apart. Feet are going to stay grounded. Belly button is in. Good. And I'm just going to press that floor away from me with my forearms and my elbows. Maybe chest comes a little bit forward as I look forward. Nice, gentle cobra pose, also known as a sphinx pose. We're right here, and we'll come down. Now, if you've got a wrist issue, this is where you're going to stay. If you don't have any wrist issues or another back issue besides osteoporosis, then you can come up a little bit higher. So belly button is in nice and tight. Maybe you lift a little bit, shoulders stay down, or maybe a little higher. And we'll lower that all the way down. Good. So we're going to do 2 more here. You take this to your level. Rolling shoulders back, belly button is in. Good. Find a little one, a medium one, or a big one. And rolling that back down. Nice and slow and controlled. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Find yours. And gently lower. Let's do one more. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Find the one of your choice that's best for your body. And we'll come down. Good. Now from here, I'm going to take my hands under my shoulders. I'm just going to lift back, and we're going to find a child's pose here. So knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. Your arms can be long in front of you. If you've got shoulders that don't want that yet, you can take hands back here. But try to keep a longer spine here. Breathe and expand. Come back to your intention. So as we start to come into our practice here with some longer hold, we'll try to hold for about 5 breaths. That's about 20 to 30 seconds. But if you always need to come out of something sooner, please listen to your body and do so. Good. And then once you're ready, good. I'm going to take my hands underneath my shoulders. Good. Now, I'm going to tuck my toes. I'm going to shift my hips back. I'm pressing in and forward into the mat. We're going to find a downward facing dog here. So again, if you've got the wrist issues, you're going to be on your forearms, on your blocks, or on the floor. You'll be more in a dolphin pose. For those of you that are okay, let's lift and shift back. Keep a bend in the knees. Good. My fingers are spread wide. I'm pressing in and forward into the mat. My elbows are turning forward. Shoulders are away from the ears. I'm trying to press evenly into big toe and pinky toe mounds. Knees are slightly bent and my belly button is in. Now, you can stay right here. You can try to lengthen just a little bit and come back. You can lift the heels and lower them. You can walk your dog, bending one knee at a time. Good. You can deeply bend the knees and lift a little higher. Find what you need. This feels really good, so I'm going to stay right here today. If you're walking the dog, keep the hips even. Remember, head and neck is free. Spine is long. And then from here, if you took a movement, we'll take some stillness. Good. From here, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or even hop your feet forward to meet your hands if you can. I'm going to bring my blocks back in here. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Nice flat back. Exhale, bend the knees as we lower, keeping a longer spine. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bend the knees as you lower. Good. Pressing through the heels, get into the hips. We'll rise all the way up. Strong legs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Let's take this back into a warrior one. We're going to step back for this warrior one. So I'm going to start by stepping back with my right leg first. I'm just going to step back here. So I'm kind of on parallel railroad tracks right now. So then my right hip, hip, knee, and toe are going to turn out 45-ish degrees. You can have a heel to arch alignment, or this leg can come out a little bit wider. Good. And then from here, belly button's in nice and tight. I'm going to take my front hip back. Good. My back hip will come forward. Good. And taking my arms up. Good. Now, remember, it's more important for the back edge of the foot to be grounded than for the front knee to be bent. So if you need to be right here, then practice right here. And we'll breathe. Reconnect with the intention. Reconnect with that breath. Now, from here, I'm going to lengthen my front leg here so I have a little bit more support and taking my hands to my waist. I'm going to swivel up my back leg and foot where I'm now in parallel railroad tracks again. My back heel is not grounded, though I'm pressing back through that heel, and I can bend this front knee if I want to. So now I'm in a high crescent position. Good. So working on a balance position here. And always note, if this is too much balance and you don't have a wall or something to hang on to, you can always lower that knee down and just work right here as well. So find yours. Front hip is still back hip is forward, belly button is in, shoulders are relaxed. Big breath. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good. I'm going to lengthen this front leg. Good. And I'm just going to kind of shift as I come into center. Good. So we're going to do a forward fold here. Okay, so just as a test, if I take my arms out, then my wrists and my elbows are in alignment. My big toes are in alignment, so one foot's not forward of the other, and I'm pressing through the outer edges of the feet. Now, as we fold here, if you need head support, you can bring a block in here. Good. So from here, I've got my hands up my waist. I'm rolling my shoulders back. Big inhale, pressing through those outer edges of the feet. Good. Long spine, I'm going to fold. Good. You'll know when you need to take your hands down. So I'm going to take mine down here. Good. Now I've got the flexibility where I can keep folding and I can place my head on a block. You may not need to. The belly button is in, nice and tight. Good. And then once you're ready, good. I'm going to press into the outer edges of the feet, even here, pressing into the hands. Good. Little bend in the knees. Good. And I'm going to walk up. Good. And as I walk up, I'm going to slowly turn both feet towards the front of my mat and then step forward. Okay. And now we're going to take that all to the other side. Let's actually do a little knee bend here first. I think that will feel good. So inhale and reach. Exhale, bend the knees. Long spine will come down. Inhale, press through those feet and legs, lengthening the legs, lengthening the back. And we'll bend those knees, pressing into the heel, engaging the glutes, long back as we rise. Good. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. So when we engage the heels and the glutes, especially important when you've got osteoporosis, you're making the legs take the load. So you're taking it out of the back, makes it easier to keep the core engaged, easier to keep a long back when you come up. So make those legs work for you. Okay, let's step back into warrior one. So I'm going to step my left foot back this time. Good. As I step that foot back, my left hip, knees, and toes are going to turn out 45-ish degrees. So I've got a heel to heel, heel to arch, or this left leg can be out a little bit wider. Good. Front hip's going to come back. I'm pressing through the back edge of the back foot. This front knee can be bent over behind the ankle. I should be able to see that toe. Should be tracking here. Lengthen this leg if you need to. Zip up and reach it. Breathe. Big expansive breath. Always returning to intention as needed. Good. Now to come into crescent, I'm going to lengthen that front leg. Good. I'm going to take my hands down and I'm going to swivel up that back foot. So I'm on parallel railroad track here. My back heel is not grounded, even though I'm pressing back through that heel. Good. My front knee can be bent here. Just be mindful as to how you have it bent, and you'll come back. There might be some of you that have a little bit more depth here. Maybe you can step back a little bit more, and you can always use your blocks to help you do that. So you can step back into a nice low lunge. And then from that lunge, now that you're wider apart, you can come into a high crescent here. So those are ways that you can make this a little bit more challenging when you're ready. You can always drop that back knee. Your back leg is strong in your crescent lunge. Shoulders are down. And then from here, good. I'm going to lengthen my front leg. Good. You're going to turn. So we're going to do that wide-legged forward fold again, but I'm going to turn this way. Good. So find your alignment. Be where you need to be here. And then from here, a big inhale. I'm going to keep my arms up. Exhale. Long spine as you fold. Hands are going to come down. Nice long spine. Belly button is in. I'm going to take my chest just a little bit more to the floor, just finding a little bit more length. I want to come out of any flexion that I might have brought myself into here. And then I'm going to fold a little bit deeper. Elbows coming straight back. Head can come to the floor to a block, or it can dangle if that's safe for you. Pressing through the outer edges of the feet still. And when we're ready, good. We're going to lift up and come up. Let's take this into a nice twist. So always twisting from length. Good. Left hand's going to come under the face. Shift the hips to the right. Press through. Open to the right. And reach. You can stay here if you've got a little bit more in the shoulder. Turn your palm behind you. You can wrap around, opening that right shoulder just a little bit more. And then from here, good, we'll release and come down. Good, hips are back even to the floor. Good. And then another thing here, because I forgot to say this, if you're a wrist issue person, it's going to be less pressure if you come up onto a block because you're not going down as far. So just kind of feel through that as you need to. Good. So right hand's going to come under the face, shifting the hip to the left, pressing through, opening up. And you can stay here or turn the hand behind you, wrapping, opening up at the shoulder if you can. Belly button stays in to protect the back. We always want to twist from length. In general, that's a good idea, especially with osteoporosis. We want to twist from length. And then we'll release and come down, hips back to center. So pressing through the outer edges of the feet, maybe a little bit of a bend in the knees. I'm going to walk my hands up and coming back up to standing. Good. And then from here, you can heel toe in or come back to the top of the mat whenever you're ready. Let's get another little knee bend in here. So from here, and just take a big inhale, exhale, bend the knees, long spine, and come down. Inhale and lift. Nice long legs, nice long spine if you can. And exhale and we'll come down. Good. Let's press through those heels, engage the glutes. Make your legs work as you come up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Finding your breath, your mountain, your intention. Right. Let's take this into a warrior two. Warrior two. Now we will go into a pyramid variation with that. So you might want to have your blocks handy for support. I'm going to set my right foot back. The same thing as we were coming back into warrior one. We'll step that foot back, hip, knee, and toe. We're going to turn out. Good. And then from here, good. You can bend this knee over behind the ankle. Knee tracks towards the pinky toe. So front hip will come back just a little bit. Hips are at a 45-ish degree angle. Leave them there. And then open the chest to the side. So warrior two is a twist. And then we're going to reach. Good. Looking over the front fingers. 5 breaths. Pressing to the back edge of the foot. Could you press into the front ball of the foot and lift toes only? Ball of the foot and heels are still grounded though, just by lifting the toes. Could you do the same thing in the back? And then we'll lengthen that leg. Good. And we'll set up for a pyramid variation. So from here, good. I'm going to come back. I'm going to set up in my parallel railroad track positions. Good. And then I'm going to bring my blocks in here. Good. So front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. I'm pressing through the back heel, even though my back heel is not going to be grounded. Good. Taking arms forward, long spine, hinge from the hips. It's okay to have a little bend in that front knee. And then when you can lengthen no more, hands on your block. Keeping that length, front hip will come back hip will come forward if you lost that in transition. Good. Now, those of you that are a little bit more advanced in your asana, and if you know that you have more depth, you can take your blocks or your hands forward. They can be high in any height that you need and come more forward here, keeping spine long. Otherwise, keep the hands and the blocks under the shoulders. If you took your blocks more forward, we'll bring that back in. Good. Now from here, I'm going to put a bend in the front knee. I'm going to reach my back leg back just a little bit more. Good. And we're just going to go into some dips. So spine is nice and long. Belly button is in. Left hip is back. Good. And we're just going to tap and lift. And tap and lift. And tap and lift. And tap and lift. From here, with your block to help you if you can. Good. We're going to step the back foot forward. Good. Go right into finding that length. Bending the knees as you come down, long spine still. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bend. Good. And inhale, rooting through the feet. Engage the glutes and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Returning to your breath, returning to intention. Good. We'll take that to the other side. I'm going to move my block to the other side here. Okay. So from here, when you're ready, we're going to step back into warrior two. So I'm going to take my left foot back now. Good. So kind of find that parallel railroad track first, and then hip, knee, and toe are going to turn out. Find your heel to arch, or a little bit wider alignment. Front knee can bend. Front hip's going to come back. Hips will stay where they are as you open the chest to the side and reach. Good. Finding the warrior two. Gazes over that front finger. Breathe. Again, could you press into the big toe and pinky toe mounds, lifting toes only? And lower. Could you do the same in the back foot, a little bit harder? And come. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll lengthen that front knee. Good. So setting yourself up for the pyramid variation here. So you can come back. Good. I'm going to bend this knee here a little bit and lengthen as I grab my blocks. Good. My front hip is coming back. My back hip is coming forward. I've got a little bit more flexibility here. I'm going to take my back leg a little bit back, a little bit more. Good. Lengthening the spine. So this might be it. Or you can always walk, blocks, hands more forward, keeping the spine long again, ears by the biceps. Right hip is back, left hip is forward. Strongly pressing through that left heel, but the left heel is not grounded. Belly button is in. And we're breathing and returning to intention. So the front knee is always micro bent. Never want to lock it out. Once you're ready, good. I'm going to bring my block back in. Good. And I'm going to come into a nice low lunge here. I'm supporting myself with my block. Nice long spine. And here we go. We're going to tap and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. From here, using your blocks to help you, good. The back foot can come up. Good. Lift and lengthen. Bending the knees. Let's do that again. Lift and lengthen. Bending the knees, rooting through the feet, engaging your glutes. Come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding your breath, your mountain, and your intention. We're going to take this into a triangle and then a half moon balance. So I'm just going to stay on this side for right now. So what I'm going to do here is for my half moon and my triangle for that matter, I'm going to have a block here forward just in case I need that. But I'm going to have my block here on the outside of my right foot for my triangle. I may not need it today, but I just never know. So from here, set yourself up for success. You're going to step that left foot back. Find your position like you would if you were coming into a warrior two. So hip, knee, toe are going to turn about 45-ish degrees. Good. And then once you're there, we'll lengthen this front leg. Front hip, your right hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. I'm going to take my right arm forward. Good. I'm going to lengthen. I'm rooting into my feet. Got a nice long spine. When I can come no more, you can rest a hand here or two hands here. You can come to a shin. You can come to a block at any height. Good. Outside of the foot is going to be more for balance and for beginners. As you open up, if you've got a little bit more depth, you have a little bit more experience, you can come on the inside. Some of you might not even need a block, and that's okay too. Good. But front hip is back hip is forward. You're looking for a stacking of the shoulders, and we breathe. And looking down at that front foot, I'm going to bend that knee and come up. Good. Now, I've got my block. We're going to do the half moon on the right side, meaning the right leg's going to be the balance leg. You can always bring a chair in here. Hold on to if you need to do that. You can come up against a wall. I'm going to take my block in my right hand. So different thing for different people. Some people just need to get used to the motion. Okay. Maybe a little bit slower motion for me. Good. Good. And then some people can come right in there. It works best for balance if the block is forward and to the side of the foot. And then you work on opening up to the side as best as you can when you're ready. Okay. So my supporting hip, knee, and toe are tracking forward. I'm not turning in. This leg, hip, knee, and toe are turning out. I can keep a hand here. I can take it up. You choose where you need to be. Belly button is in. Trying to hold for about 5 breaths. If not, do what you can. And then when you're ready, good. We're going to kind of take that down. Good. Both hands here. Inhale and lift and lengthen. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, and we'll come up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding the breath. Mountain intention. And this is the mountain pose, by the way, kind of coming to the stance. All right, rotate that to the other side. I'm just going to bring my blocks over. So having my block at the ready on the outside of the left foot, preparing for triangle. So I'm going to take my right foot back now. I'm going to find that warrior two position with my feet and my legs. Good. I'll lengthen that front leg. My front hip's going to come back. My back hip's going to come forward. I'm zipping up that front thigh. Left arm forward. Root into your feet. Lengthen, 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 lengthen. When you can come no more, take your thighs, maybe here, your shin, a block at any height, and we'll come up and open. Front hip is back hip is forward. Nice stacking of the shoulders, nice long spine. Looking up towards the ceiling if you can. Coming back to intention again. Good. We'll look down at that front foot, put a bend in that front knee, and come up. Good. So preparing for the half moon balance on this side. So I've got my block in my left hand. Good. And so again, just kind of choose what you need to do. I'm going to bring this back. You can, just work on the motion. Okay. Maybe you can come into it. Block is forward and to the left of the left foot. Hip, knee, and toe are tracking forward. I'm pressing into the floor. I'm pressing into the foot as I open up. Hand can also stay here. Good. So this is one of my favorite balance challenges, is the half moon. I'm very proud of my half moon. It took me a long time to come away from the wall practicing half moon. But being a short person, I feel best when I half moon with a block. Short person, short arms. And once you've done about 5 breaths here, good. We're just going to kind of calm down. Good. Bringing in your block. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Nice long spine. Exhale and we'll bow. Yeah, and as we come down, just go ahead and come onto the knees. We're done with the standing portion of the class. Good. And then from here, as you come down, you can bring in a blanket if you would like to sit on one. And I'm going to kind of do this at an angle here if you can best see. So if you know that you cannot touch your feet here, seated and coming forward, grab your strap. Also, if you know or think that you can't keep a long back here without the assistance of the strap, go ahead and bring that in. I'll show you that in a moment. But my left leg's going to come forward. I'm going to bring my right foot in. And I want to come to a little bit of an anterior tilt of the pelvis, meaning my hip bones are rocked forward and my tailbone is rocked back. So with the strap then, if you're going to use that, you'll take that strap right around the ball of the foot. Good. Inhale, exhale, long spine. You're going to hinge forward. Now you can kind of choke up on that as you need to. And then that strap can help you kind of lean into that, really take the chest forward, keep that nice long spine. If you can reach and don't need that, then you can just come to your toes. Breathe. And then when you're ready, good. We're going to come all the way back up. Good. From here, we are just going to switch sides. So again, if you need to bring in the strap to help you keep a long spine here, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, my right leg is going to be long. My left foot's going to come in. Good. I'm going to come up, long back. And then when I can come no more at that long back, that's when my hands come down. So I'm keeping a nice long spine the whole time. Breathing and expanding that rib cage. We're trying to hold for 5 breaths. Once you're ready, good. We'll come up out of there. Let's do a seated side bend here. So I'm going to sit this way. Good. It's considered advanced asana if both legs are out wide, just like a wide leg seated forward fold. But if you need assistance or maybe not quite that intense, bring your right foot back in to the left side. And all we're going to do here is side bend to the left. So you can just do a side bend from here, or you can reach. But when you're ready, big inhale, exhale, find that nice side bend. So we're getting into a nice stretch to the side body here, reaching. And this hand can also be on a block as well, if you need to not side bend as deep. And when you're ready, go. We'll come back up. Good. And we'll go to the other side. So I did the modification. So I'm going to bring in the other foot. So right leg is out, left foot is in. Big inhale, exhale, side bend towards the right side. Reaching, breathing. This is also one of my favorite stretches. I really love how it feels on the low back. When we sit a lot sometimes and forget to move, it gets really stiff back there, and this is a great one. Also gets on the top of the hip as well. When you're ready, we'll come back up. Good. All right. From here, we're going to try a boat pose, So I'm just going to come off of my blanket here. So different boats for different people. So some of you will take your hands behind you. Whatever boat you're doing, your back is nice and long. So we never want to do this slump. Okay. So you can work bringing the legs in, maybe just on the tippy toes, a small hover, tabletop, or a long leg. Go where you can go there. Otherwise, if you don't need to hold on, good. Same thing apply. You can touch the toes a little bit. You can come here. This is where I'm going to be today. You can certainly take the legs long. You can let go if you've got that in your practice. Just really zip up that front body. Good strong front will give you a strong back. Relax the shoulders. Breathe. 5 breaths is really hard here, I know. And when you're ready, good. We'll bring that down. Let's come on to our backs now. So in the way that's best for you to get there, you can come to your back. Good. Have your strap handy. And once you come onto your back, good. Just bring the knees into the chest and rock side to side. And we're going to keep this rock. We're going to go into a little bit of a dynamic twist. So excuse me, be mindful here as you move. So we're going to hover on each side. So if you're opposite side of the back, it's involved when you do that. You don't want to take that as deep. So belly button is in, legs are zipped together. We're just going to come over to the right and hover. Exhale, come to center. Go to the left and hover. Exhale, center. Good. To the right and hover. Exhale, center. Left and hover. Exhale, center. This time, take it all the way over to the right. And look to the left. Now, we kept our knees on tabletop. The more you take your knees towards your chest, the farther up the spine you'll find your twist. Head will come back to center. Let's take one leg at a time, coming back to center. Good. And we will take those knees over to the left. Good. Holding here for a nice twist. 5 breaths if you can. And then one leg at a time. We'll come back to center, bringing these in and rock, rock side to side. Let's take the feet into the straps. So we're just going to use this as a nice pull to do a crossover stretch here to get to the outer side. We did inner thigh when we did our standing wide-legged forward fold. We did a lot of hamstring work, especially with that pyramid and the triangle. So we're going to just get to the outer side here. So your left leg's going to come long, both straps are in the left hand, and we're just going to arc over and just kind of wiggle around and find it where you need it. You can move the foot around from the ankle here as well. You'll know it when you hit that special stretch. We're just going to stay here right at the 45-ish degrees. Coming back up. Good. We'll just switch sides. Good. So both straps are going to come into the right hand. Good. We'll arc that leg over 45-ish degrees, wiggle around, find your optimal spot. You can move the foot around for a more special spot. Find what you need. And we'll come back up and we'll release. Good. Knees into the chest one more time. And when you're ready, we are going to stay right here for a little short Shavasana. So you can let everything come long and flop open. If your back doesn't like that, put a bend in the knees. You can also be on your side or on your belly if that would feel better to you. You want to come somewhere where you're not going to be fidgety and moving around. So as you kind of settle in, see if you can make yourself about 10% more comfortable. And we'll return to our intention one more time. Taking those deep breaths. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Gently wiggling fingers and toes. Choose stillness or bring knees into the chest, grabbing on top of the shins or behind them. Finding some length from crown to tail. Maybe rolling ankles around or paddling through. And then removing any props if you used any during Shavasana time. Taking legs long in front of you Arms long behind you, reach from the edge of the fingertips, the edge of the toes, finding full body stretch, pointing and flexing through the feet, bend and stretch through the hands, wrists and ankles turn in one direction, and then in the other. And then from here, when you're ready, bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over to your right or left side, the side that works best for your body in this moment. Taking all the time that you need here, and when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat, where we sometimes start our yoga practice. And once you have found that nice tall sit, notice how you feel. Good sitting posture, ears, shoulders, and hips. Palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen. Exhale, stopping the thumbs right at the forehead for good and true thoughts. To the lips for good and kind words. And to the heart for open and loving heart. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. May you have a wonderful day, evening, week, month, season ahead. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.